everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me for another video. So in today's video, if you hadn't already guessed by the title, down below I'm going to be doing for you guys an updated tutorial, couldn't think of the word then, an updated tutorial on how I curl my hair. So this was a video that I filmed when I very started, which I know that sounds daft, but it was about 10 months ago now. And even though it'll practically be the same because it's the same way now how I used to do my hair, or did my hair in the last video, I just thought I would show you guys how I curl my hair, because I know that curling your own hair can be quite difficult, especially if you don't have curlers and like me you only have hair straighteners, which is what I'm going to be using. So I thought I would do an updated tutorial for you guys, just because I know I love watching hair videos and I love teaching myself new things. And I've always curled my hair with straighteners. I actually find it harder, believe it or not, to do it with curling tongs. So yeah, if you want to find out how you curl your hair with straighteners, then keep on watching. Okay, so first things first, please excuse my TV in the background, I have got it on. So first things first, I have my little hair bag just to show you guys what I have in it. Obviously I already have my straighteners on. These are my GHDs. I can't remember exactly what ones these are because the writing's worn off because I've had these a few years now, but obviously I've already got my straighteners heated. I just have a couple of hair clips because obviously you need some hair clips, but they're not that expensive either, which is really good. I think you can get like a pack of 5 or 6 from Primark for like £1.50, so if you've got thin hair then they're definitely good, but I wouldn't recommend them for thick hair because they're not very like sturdy or thick plastic or anything, so they might break easily. But the next thing, I use this all the time, I swear by this, it's the only heat protect that I really ever remember using, and it's the VO5 Heat Protect Spray. It says at the bottom, for ultra glossy finish up to 230 degrees heat defense. And I always use this. I use this when I'm drying my hair, and then I use it again when I actually straighten my hair. Obviously this time around when I washed it the other night, I haven't straightened it, I just whacked it up in a bun. But yeah, I always use that, and then just have my 2 hairbrushes. So I have my hairbrush for softening and soothing my hair. Softening, I don't really know how you'd explain it. And then just my ordinary hairbrush, which I actually got this one from Primark for £1. So I would definitely recommend their brushes if you're looking for a really cheap one. I've had this now for about 2 years, and as you can see, it's lasted pretty well. So that's literally all that's in my bag. And then Connor's mum bought me this a couple of years ago for Christmas, I believe it was anyway. I don't know, I have so many bags that have been bought by so many people, I can't really remember. But anyway, so to start off, I'm literally just going to take my hairbrush and just brush through my hair to get any knots out, and just to sort of start loosening the hair up a little bit. So I just brush it all the way through, get right underneath as well to get the harder knots that might be under there, and then I brush it all back, and I start by getting my part in. And for me, I have a middle part in, so I'll just literally brush my hair into my part in because it's just a lot easier. Okay, so once I do that, I then section my hair. So I take 2 pieces at the back. And then me personally, you can sort of start by doing it that way, grab this bit of hair up, clip it up and then do it like that. Personally I don't, but you can do it that way. But what I do, I normally split the hair into 2 sections, and then I clip one side up, and then I focus on doing one side at a time, just because I prefer doing it that way. It's a lot easier for me, and I find it can be a lot quicker. So I'm going to come a little bit closer so you can actually see a bit easier or a bit better what I'm doing. So what I do, obviously take my heat protect, I haven't got a lot of this left, brilliant. And then I start from the bottom, and I literally just spray it like so. Because for me, when I spray it on dry hair, it tends to get quite greasy, but that's just personally me. It's not to say that it's not going to happen, but that's just me. I then brush it through, and then what I start by doing is I start from the back, and then I start by taking little section by section. So I'm going to start by taking about an inch width of hair. That's probably more than an inch, but there we go. So I start by taking about an inch width of hair, and then take my hair straighteners. I start by quickly going down. I don't keep it for too long, because otherwise if you keep the straighteners on for too long on one piece of hair, it will think you're straightening it, and then it will be more difficult to curl. But I just take one piece of hair, and then it's up to you if you want the curl to start, or if you want like a head to toe curl, start at the top. I'm going to do it from the middle downwards. So I'm going to start by straightening the hair up to about the middle piece, and then I'm going to turn it inwards like so, wrap the hair around, and then just slowly pull out. As you can see, I am watching myself do it because I haven't got a mirror in front of me. As you can see, I've got on behind, but that doesn't really help at the minute. But as you can see, even on the piece of hair now, you can sort of see a little wave where it would go, and then just gently let it go, twizzle the curl around in the shape it's going, and as you can see, it just creates a nice bouncy curl like so. And then me personally, I just like to pull it down a little bit, still keeping it curled, just to keep it a bit more bouncy but also in its shape. And then once I've done that, I then just pop it to the back, and then I start again, and then I brush through just to make sure there's no thin bits of hair that I've missed or anything. And then again, take about an inch width of hair, and then take my straightener, and then I'm going to show you the other way that I also do it, or the other way that you can do it. So I'm going to start again from the top, go down about the middle part for me, and then doing an inside curl. So again, I'm just twisting it, taking the hair all the way around, and then slowly going down as I'm doing it. It's really quiet. And then again, I just gently let it go, and then as you can see, it just creates a nice curl, which I then just gently pull out, but keep it curled like so. And then I just flick it to the back like so. So it's actually, once you get the hang of it, it's actually really easy to create really nice curls. And as you can see, they're really bouncy and they will stay in for a really long time. And I just find it, like I said, a lot easier, because then you can section your hair a bit easier, and yeah, I just personally prefer doing it this way. So then again, I'm going to just show you one more time on each, like in and out. So again, just take about an inch of hair, or an inch section of hair. If I can do it now. I'm going to not be able to do it now, watch. Okay, that will do. And then I'm going to start by going down, and then going outside, bringing the curl round, and slowly bringing it down. Now obviously I will tell you a few tips in a minute on how to get like tighter curls and looser curls, and that sort of thing, but this is just, for me, I find when I use curling tongs, obviously you wrap the hair around the tong, and then it just, you have to sort of hold it there for like 30 seconds. And for me personally, it just really aches my arm, and I don't like doing that. It just really aches. I feel like I'm sitting there forever. I feel like it takes a bit longer. And for me personally, I prefer using straighteners anyway. I just think they're a really handy tool for hair just to keep, and I just prefer using them. I just think they're better personally. But everyone has their own preferences. And then again, just, so obviously that's a bit thicker, but for the purpose of this video, it will do. Like so. And like I said, just creates a nice bouncy curl. And then what I do, obviously, once I've just pulled it out and not pulled it out, but curled it and settled it, I then just leave it completely. I don't brush it out, I don't play about with it, I literally chuck it to the back and let it cool down, and as it's cooling down it will set in its place and it will keep itself curled basically. So this is going to look like a bit of an odd style. I've got half curled at the back, half straight at the front, and the other half up. But a couple of tips that I want to tell you guys is that the first thing is, to start off with, I'll take just this piece of hair at the front. The thinner section of hair, the less time you're going to need to curl it, because the thinner piece of hair or the thinner section of hair that you've got, the quicker it's going to curl, and the quicker it's going to curl, the less time you want to keep the heat on it, because it's not going to take as long. The reason why I take a few more seconds extra with the thicker piece is because it's got a lot more hair to contain itself in, and basically it's got a lot more hair for the heat to reach as it's curling it, which is why the thicker the piece of hair that you're curling, or even straightening, the thicker the piece of hair, the slower it takes, because obviously the longer it takes for the heat to penetrate through. Whereas if I was, so let me show you on a front piece. So if I take a really thin bit at the front like this, so this is this is a thinner piece here. So if I was to curl this bit, as you can see, it takes, because it's a thinner piece of hair, it takes a lot less time for me to curl it, because it's a lot less, like so. Whereas if I was to take a thicker piece, say like this, it's a bit too thick. The thicker section of hair, it's going to take a bit longer, because as I said, the thicker the piece of hair, the longer time it's going to take for the heat to actually penetrate through. So as you can see with this, because it's thicker, it's going to take me longer and more time to concentrate, but that's not a bad thing, because I always find the thicker the curl or the bigger the curl, the nicer it looks. The nicer it looks, like, on me. And as you can see, it just takes a lot longer but the same outcome. So it's just a case of however thick you have your hair, like the pieces of the sections, I don't know where I'm trying to go with this, but basically, long story short, the thicker the section of hair, the longer it's going to take to curl. The thinner the section of hair, the less time it's going to take. And the thicker piece of hair that you take, the bigger the curl's going to be, or the wider the curl's going to be, whereas the thinner piece of hair will take less time and it will be a skinnier, smaller curl. So basically, you just got to think, the thinner, the smaller, the less time, or the quicker, should I say. So I don't know why I'm now trying to straighten that, because I'm going to end up curling it again in a sec, but I'll just leave it like that for now. So yeah, that's that. Now I've got a really nice little curly bit at the front, so I'm not going to complain. Okay, so that's one tip that I've got for you guys. Okay. I know I said in the next clip you will see me with one full side done, but I've just remembered something that I want to tell you about how I now do this front part of my hair. So when you're in hairdressing, they normally do, when they're parting it for like blow dries and when they're drying it, things like that, they will use what they call a hot cross bun sectioning, that's the word. Like hot cross bun sectioning, that's basically when you take the middle parting down and then you go down behind the ears for your next section. And this section here basically is what I've got here. So it's not straight, it's not even, but what they would do, they would start from here, go down, take the section from behind the ear. This will be one section, this will be another section, and so on, and then they'll do one at the back. So once I've basically got to this front section here, like I said, it's not even, so don't judge. But what I actually then do is I take the hair like so, and again I'm sort of sectioning it. So I'll take this top bit, I'll try and make it as straight and as even as I possibly can. There we go, that will do. God, look, my hair's really thin there. Didn't realise. But then what I will do is, again, just curl it up and clip it behind, so then I can focus on this sort of section here, and it's pretty much one section. So what I will do is, God, I look like a nut. So like usual, I will just brush it through, and because it's quite a thin section, it's a little bit thicker than an inch, but because it's already sort of, it's not that thick, I will just keep it as this. So again, I'll just quickly go down and then start from the middle and then curl it round like so. So that's basically how I end up doing the front of my hair. So hopefully now in the next clip you will see me when I've got this whole half done. Okay, so as you can see now, I've completed the first side and it just looks like this. As you can see, it's just loads of curls, quite thick, quite like loose and detailed. And one thing that I want to say is sometimes you will get little straggly sections like this that are a bit curled but are actually quite loose and still a lot longer from the other side. And that's okay, everyone always misses little bits. So literally just take the straightener, and because it's a really thin bit, you literally just go all the way down like so, and then it just curls and pops back into place. So like I said, as you can see, this bit's gone a little bit funny because I curled it in the beginning, so that's not gone perfect, this front one. But as you can see, as I said, it's just gone all curly, all thick and voluminous. And what I do, because all of this at the back has now cooled down from earlier, hopefully the curl has held its place. So what I do, the one thing that I keep in here that won't fit in my little bag of tricks, is a can of hairspray. So this is just a cheap hairspray from Superdrug. And what I do, I just spray just a tiny bit, not loads. But what I do, I just spray it, scrunch my hair up just so it keeps the curl a little bit more in hold, and then I take my finger and I just sort of separate the curls a little bit just so it adds a lot more volume. And as you can see, it's gone a little bit more like poof, if that makes sense. Obviously not everyone likes this, and that's absolutely fine, but it just adds a little bit more depth and a lot more volume to it, and I just think it's better personally on me. And as you can see, it's just gone, yeah, so you just add in a lot more volume to it like so. So yeah, that's pretty much it for that one side. Now, another tip that I've got for you guys is when you're straightening your hair, make sure the whole of the hair is in, as you can see, this hot iron bit. Because what I noticed when I first started out curling my hair with straighteners was that when I was straightening, once I would finish the curl, half of it would still be straight. And that's because where I was tying it round, I wasn't tying it round the straightener properly. So half of it was actually slowly sort of falling out at the end here as I was doing it, which means I wasn't getting all of it in. So it was getting harder to find like straighter bits and curlier bits, and try not to go over the curly bits again because the straight bits are mixing in la-di-da-di-da. So I'll show you what I mean. But in the meantime, as you can see now, I've finished this side. I'm just going to take this hair grip here that I've got, a spare one. I'm going to take it from the back, clip it, and then take it from the front as well, and just try and clip it all together just so it doesn't get in the way of doing this next bit. Or also what some people do is, I haven't got one on me now, but a hairband, just tie it up sort of roughly like that to keep the curls in, but you're not tying it up properly. And that is a side bun, and if you would like a video on how to do a side bun on yourself, please let me know down in the comments below. But in the meantime, I'm just using a hair grip on myself, just because it's easier. So as you can see, my hair's gone a little bit curly, wavy there. I kind of want to leave it like that. But yeah, So as I started off in the beginning, I'm going to take my hairbrush, just brush through it, making sure I'm getting all them knots out and all them scraggly bits. And then I'm going to do it again what I done before. I'm going to take my heat protect, start from the bottom and just drop it down. As I'm doing it, that sort of failed a bit. But then what I'm going to do is just brush that through again, just to make sure it gets all the hair. And then, okay, so again, I'm going to take a piece of hair from the back, as I said to you, about 1 inch in width. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to purposely do this one wrong to try and show you guys what I mean. So I have a mirror here now, so I'm going to be looking into that while I'm doing this. But what I mean when I say sort of dropping the hair out the curl, that's what I'm going to call it. So you're sort of, let me just do it roughly, and then as you're curling it, it falls out like that, so you're not actually curling it properly. What you want to do is, as you're doing it, you want to make sure that it's sort of bundled together a bit, not too much. I'm actually going to separate this bit of hair to make my life a bit easier. But you just want to make sure you've got a nice width of hair bundled together, making sure it's all in the iron properly. And as you're curling it, as you can see, you're making sure it's sort of smack bang in the middle, so you've got the perfect amount of space, and so it's not going to end up coming out. And then what I do, I hold the end of the hair as I'm curling it, just in case it does fall out. And then obviously I'm just curling it through like so. And then it just creates again that nice bouncy curl. I just twist it with my finger, twist it in the way that the curl is going. So as you can see, like that, just twisting it, pulling it slightly just to loosen it, and then it bounces back by the time I've done it. I do it about 2 or 3 times and then just pop it to the back. I don't throw it back because otherwise the curl can come out, so I just place it behind. And then again I just take another piece of hair, and again, the more you do it, by the time you've done a whole head, it can become a lot easier and a lot more sort of confident with yourself on doing it. So yeah, it can be quite fiddly to begin with, not going to lie to you there. Oh, like so. Sometimes it can get confusing, even though I know how to do it, it can still confuse me sometimes. There we go. But that's just the way it goes. Sorry, I'm not really looking at you a lot. I'm sort of looking in the mirror to do this side. But yeah, it can get confusing. It will take a few attempts. And it was actually my hairdresser quite a few years ago. I think I was in year 8 or year 9. When I used to go to my hairdressers really regularly, she actually showed me how to comb my hair with straighteners. So it was actually her that showed me. And as soon as I got home, I tried it once, couldn't do it to save my life. It was, you know, if my life depended on it, I probably wouldn't even be here now. So it does take a while to obviously get used to it. You don't just do it overnight. It does take a good 3 or 4 attempts to really get comfortable with it. But I find in the meantime, or in the meanwhile should I say, it's still a lot easier than curlers. It might take a bit more it might take a bit more time getting used to it with the straighteners, but in the long run it doesn't give you an achy arm, it doesn't, you know, all that sort of stuff. So this is what I mean as well earlier, by the way guys, when I said about sometimes you get little straight straggly bits. If you want, as you're going, you can either leave it till the end or you can just quickly go over it like so, and then flick it to the back so you don't miss any, or so you don't like get confused, if that makes sense. So yeah, and again I'm just going to quickly finish this side, and then when I see you again, promise this time it will be once I've finished this side of my hair. Okay guys, so that is it for that side as well. And it's just exactly the same as the other side. As you can see, it's just full of curls, a lot shaken out, really relaxed, and so on. This part here, okay, that's irritating, that bit fell out. That's what I mean by sometimes it can look like a curl as well, a curl, but actually it just stays a bit wavy and then it falls out. So obviously make sure that that's another reason why you want to get all your curls in completely. There we go, that's a lot better. Boom. And then, as you can see, just take it all out, give it a little gentle shake, not too much because obviously you don't want it all to come out the minute that you've just done it. But as you can see, it just creates absolutely beautiful curls, nice, soft and relaxed. Perfect, you know, for weddings, proms, all that kind of thing. Obviously, I don't 100% do it like this, like I don't normally spray it and then shake it and all that sort of stuff if I'm just wearing it around the house. Pardon me, or I'm just getting on like my day-to-day chores. Because for me, I would wear this now as if I am going out somewhere or going to an event or something like that. But this is curls basically, and these are quite loose, sort of, they're in between tight and loose. So they're tight enough that they're going to stay for quite a few hours, but they're also quite soft and loose, and as you can see when I move them, they're shaking about and they're not like, you know, like really still and not moving whatsoever. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the curl look. Hi guys, so this is a bit of a random jump from the video to now. After spending absolutely hours editing, I've realised that for some reason the end of the video has no end, if that makes sense. It just cuts out. So whether the battery went dead on my phone or not, who knows, but who cares. So I'm going to finish this video for you guys now. If you did like this video, then please give it a massive thumbs up. I would appreciate it so much. Comment down below what your favourite part of this video was. Not that it was much of a video to comment things like that, it was more just a tutorial. But if you did like this video, as I said, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel to see lots more of these type of videos, and I guess share with your friends and family. If you've got anything else that you would like to know about, whether it's curling hair or if it's any other styles, then just pop it in the comments down below. I will get back to you as soon as I can. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.